What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk more so about competition. Is there any competition out there for Lucid, and if so, who is it? Because I do see some inconsistent comments out there on some stock forums and things like that. So I want to talk on that and give you a good breakdown of what is happening in the market today. But before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. With that, let's get right to it. Live ticker going at the very bottom, currently red right now, but 3.2 million shares being traded as of right now within the first 1 hour of the trading day, so that's a little bit more optimistic. 378,000 shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds today alone, and that is on the secondary market, and you can tell that based on the block volume columns. So overall, I think it's fairly optimistic. We did actually hit a low today of 1635. There's a lot of fear out in the market, and it was a little bit more of a sell-off, so it does look like we are kind of making up that gap. So again, it might be a little bit more of a positive day, but when it comes down to it though, I want to talk on the competition factor, because I think from Lucid's get-go, they were immediately compared with Tesla. There was so much optimism, and especially more so the technology, because there's a lot of different attributes of Lucid that is very positive, that is next level technology, and I think right now they do have market segmentation, and I think marketing in EVs can be sought out in multiple different viewpoints. So I kind of disagree with a lot of people saying that Lucid doesn't have any competition, because even on previous earnings, Peter did say that he does not see Lucid having any competition whatsoever, that it's more so just a tech race. So again, that might be one different viewpoint. Just want to refer you to this, and this is basically what started this whole kind of video, why I decided to actually kind of do a video on this. But it does talk on saying that nobody at Lucid actually considers themselves the Tesla killer, which I agree with that. Obviously the media just largely made that up. I think the Tesla killer, Tesla's not going to go anywhere by any means anytime soon, so we're not the Tesla killer. We're just obviously competition. That's my viewpoint. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is only for entertainment purposes, and in the end, I hope you are entertained by this. And if you do disagree with anything I say, let me know in the comments below. But overall, you can see that technically he is a senior recruiter over the years in engineering manufacturing, and he routinely corrected candidates on saying that Lucid is a luxury brand versus Tesla, which is a premium brand. So yes, I get that. In general though, when it comes down to marketing, I think there is a broader picture that a lot of people need to realize, that moving customers into a EV, that is a challenge in among itself. Technically, higher gas prices right now are helping kind of escalate that and move that faster. But in general, though, that is one whole concept that needs to be done, because technically Lucid's done a lot of different things, such as recently their leasing, to kind of accommodate their vehicles to more so someone not willing to pay the full amount, because obviously when you do a leasing, you're not paying that full amount. So that's something that I think we really need to factor in, because technically Lucid would not be doing that if it was not trying to get some market share from Tesla. And the reason why a lot of people bring up Tesla is the mere fact they are number one. They're the largest EV out there. So technically, you see a lot of articles coming out about Ford, about Rivian, about everyone, and they are being compared against Tesla. This is one thing that a lot of people need to realize, that Tesla is competition. And if you do not think that or realize that, then unfortunately, we're going to fall by the wayside. I think that typically is what happens if you do not actually think that there's any competition. You do not strive for the best. And I think that if we do actually come to realize that, you know what, Tesla is competition, NIO is competition, especially with NIO coming into North America and technically Europe. I'm a very big fan of expansion, and Europe is one place that has a huge demand for EVs. But guess what? We are not the only game in town. There is a lot of EVs out there. First off, I think that if someone is willing to actually buy, for instance, a Pure, that is in direct competition with the prices that Tesla offers. So in reality though, there is competition. As soon as someone has the opportunity to choose an option between that, and Lucid is one of them, you are immediately considered competition. So just take that how you see that. Again, I could be completely wrong about this, and maybe I'm just venting, but I think this mentality has gone on way too long, and I think personally we do need to come to realize that we do have lots of competition. I see in a lot of comments people still bring up Tesla, which in reality, and justifiably so, Tesla is our biggest competition, point blank. But again, this is a lot of different things. When it comes down to EVs, like I mentioned, we do have market segmentation right now because we do have technically that niche market as of right now, like I said. But Peter did even potentially say by mid-decade there's going to be that $50,000 vehicle. So even with that though, Do you think we're really not going to have any competition? When we have that $50,000 vehicle, we are going to be going for that middle class. At that stage, we are going to have a lot of competition. We're going to have almost everyone as competition. So I think a lot of mentality when it comes down to these kind of posts and this individual, for instance, again, nothing wrong with him or anything. Like, I am a very big fan of Lucid and its community. That's one thing I really do like. But still, I think this mentality is not necessarily just with him. It's a lot of individuals saying, you know what, we don't have competition, which is not correct. But still, on a side note, this might be just me ranting, but so ignore me. If I am incorrect, let me know in the comments below. If you do agree with me as well, let me know. But overall, given the circumstances, I think that there is a lot of positive things for Lucid and EVs as well. And I think once we come to realize that we do have lots of competition, we are going to kind of strive to have that production out, to get our name out there faster. Because once we do get that lower price vehicle, then there is going to be a lot of good things happening. So with all that, like I said, take that how you see that. So given the market right now, it can be characterized as just fear. This is exactly why we're selling off as much as we are. There's a lot of kind of a volatile days, and like I said on my weekend video, kind of giving a recap, there's going to be a lot of volatility, especially there's a lot of consumer events this week that is going to dictate whether the consumers are actually making a lot of money, if they're maintaining their jobs. There's going to be a lot of things, and you can even tell based on this intraday first thing on the morning, very volatile. Largely as well, like I said, because of recession talks. Technically, still people are talking about, a lot of people are still buying the dip, blah, 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 but it comes down to technicals. A lot of people are saying that hypothetically, we are at very pivotal points on almost all the indexes. So again, it's one of those things that potentially we could drop. There is a lot of anticipation that we could drop another 15 to 20% given the circumstances and still not be in a recession. So I think this is largely brought on because of oil, and despite oil going down today, you can still see the broader indexes are very much red. So you can see oil is down currently 4.93%. But like I said, that I think the fear is already kind of ingrained in a lot of people's minds, regardless of it's actually true or not. So I think out of anything, the data that's coming out about consumers may actually be the saving grace, depending on how it comes out. Obviously, if it's positive, it could be the saving grace for the economy. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But like I said, just want to cap it off with some vague technical analysis, give you my projection of what is happening. Looking on the chart, I have the 5100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So momentum, you can tell number of buyers is up. Like I said at the very beginning, volume is up. Stochastic, you can see it is getting to a little bit more of an oversold status, but still that deviation to red line above the black. Looking on the actual chart, it does look fairly optimistic, and most likely during this video, as I'm ranting, this is going to turn very much green. But just want to quickly pop over here and give you some resistance and support points. This is where a lot of people are now talking and how it's optimistic. First, second, and third. Do you see this giant gap? This is something that is very positive for us that we can easily get over with almost no news whatsoever. And on the contrary, first, second, and third support points, very tight knit. So that again is very optimistic because it shows that we have a very strong support point that most likely we will not drop below. Just want to coincide that with this. I'm just going to pop over to Interactive Brokers. I do have a link to them in the description below, and also I'll put it in the comments in case you do like this, because I like to use Interactive Brokers for a lot of good information. But like I said, when I do some technical analysis, I look at moving averages and kind of other indicators. But if you are a big fan of the Elliott wave, it does actually project Lucid being 23.50 to 25.20 in the short term, but depending if we can stay above this $15.90 kind of pivot point. If we do break below that, then most likely we will be between the $13.30 and $11.80. And this is using the Elliott wave. So if you are a big fan of that, make sure you guys click on the link in the description below and just play around. It has a lot of good information. But with that, just want to cap it off with one additional thing. Go back to Ortex, because I saw something very interesting this morning, and it was this. Looking at this, the cost to borrow. I've been bringing up cost to borrow quite frequently when it comes down to short interest. Technically, 141.58% is the cost to borrow max. That is extremely high. And cost to borrow average is 34.87. So by any regard, typically cost to borrow and short interest are inverse. So the mere fact that short interest was up this morning, as was cost to borrow, this shows a little bit more something in the works. So it is highly likely that we could potentially have a squeeze, especially looking at the short score. It is 89.47, so very, very high. So potentially, like I said, a squeeze might be be coming if there is some positive news or a catalyst out there. So let me know your thoughts with Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.